In just 24 hours, Iran and the United States will meet in Geneva for a second round of nuclear talks. Tehran has signaled it can be flexible in finding a deal if it is given sanctions relief in return. Foreign Minister Abbas Araghchi added that he's hopeful of a fair agreement, but it took a swipe at rhetoric coming out of Europe. He called the Munich Security Conference a circus, claiming Europe's confused and irrelevant.
Sad to see the usually serious Munich Security Conference turned into the Munich circus when it comes to Iran. The EU appears confused, rooted in an inability to understand what is happening inside Iran. Strategically, an aimless EU has lost all geopolitical weight in our region.
Well, Iran's Foreign Minister Abbas Araghchi has described the Munich Security Conference as a Munich circus. He says that when it comes to Iran, the Europeans do not have any proper understanding of the real situation here. He says that the Europeans have lost their geopolitical weight in the world, and that actually Germany is leading the way in surrendering regional policies to Israel. Well, also Iran's Foreign Minister Abbas Araghchi said that Europe has already lost all its weight in the world, and that our friends in the region are far more effective and helpful when it comes to regional and global developments, and especially with regard to Iran's nuclear talks with Washington. Moreover, Iran's foreign minister actually was not impressed by the meetings of Western leaders in Munich, actually especially given the fact that anti-Iranian rally was held on the sidelines of the Munich Security Conference called for by Reza Pahlavi, the son of the deposed US-backed Shah, who was toppled back in 1979 with the victory of the Islamic Revolution. Well, meanwhile, this comes as Iran's Foreign Minister Abbas Araghchi has arrived in Geneva for the second round of indirect nuclear talks with Washington over Iran's nuclear program. Well, according to Iranians, the main focus of the topics for actually Tuesday talks in Geneva will be Iran's nuclear program, and that no other issues will be discussed, and no zero enrichment has ever been on the table of negotiations. Well, in its latest tweet upon arrival in Geneva, Iran's Foreign Minister Abbas Araghchi has also said that he's planning to meet with the IAEA chief Rafael Grossi to discuss technical issues with regards to Iran's nuclear program. Also, Araghchi has said that he is in Geneva with real ideas to achieve fair and equitable agreement with Washington, and that what is not on the table is submission before threats. Well, this comes as U.S. Secretary of State Marco Rubio has said that Tehran makes decisions based on theology, but still the U.S. wants diplomacy and negotiations with Tehran.
I'm not going to talk about attacks on Iran or anything of that nature, because the president's made clear he prefers diplomacy and an outcome of negotiated settlement. Now, we're dealing with radical Shia clerics. Okay, we're dealing with people who make geopolitical decisions on the basis of pure theology, and it's a complicated thing. I mean, no one's ever been able to do a successful deal with Iran, but we're going to try.
Well, Israel seems to be the unhappiest side of the indirect nuclear talks between Tehran and Washington. Well, Israeli Prime Minister Netanyahu has said that during his visit to Washington, he has discussed Iran's nuclear issue with U.S. President Donald Trump, but still he believes that Iran is not reliable.
I just came back from the United States for a very important meeting with President Trump. Obviously, the focus was on Iran. The president is determined to exhaust the possibilities of achieving a deal which he believes can be achieved now because of the circumstances that have been created, the force projection, and the fact that, as he says, Iran must surely understand that they missed out last time, and he thinks there's a serious probability that they won't miss out this time. I will not hide from you that I express my skepticism of any deal with Iran, because, frankly, Iran is reliable on one thing: they lie and they cheat.
Well, this comes as Iran's Deputy Foreign Minister Taftor Ravanchi has said that the ball is now in the U.S. court, and if the United States shows full sincerity, definitely an agreement is achievable. Well, this comes as the second round of indirect nuclear talks between Tehran and Washington are expected to take place on Tuesday in Geneva. We have to wait and see what comes out of the meetings, whether tangible progress would be achieved or that will lead to another confrontation across the region.